it's Miss Webster here from the Art and Design Department. Basically, you'll have these art packs out, and I just thought it might be a good idea to very quickly just go over all the key sort of elements that are being asked of you in here, okay? So this booklet is going to really concentrate on the expressive folio. That's what we're going to be working on just now and throughout the summer, just until we get back to school in August. So first thing, just make sure you've got access to Teams, as this booklet will be uploaded on there, and any wee changes that come out from the SQA or the council and things like that will be uploading on Teams, okay? So just to keep yourself in the loop, and also just good to get on Teams so that you can send us any of your work, okay? So first thing is just having a look at the expressive folio, which is usually out of 100 marks, okay? So this is for Nat 5 and Nat 4. And a successful folio looks a little bit like this, where you have your reference image. So that's just a key image that you've taken from all your research that you've been doing, okay? Compositional photographs, that's just some photographs showing that you've had a look at your inspirational artist and you've started developing your own ideas, your own theme, and you've been taking some pictures to sort of work from, okay? And you'll be firing them off to your art teacher and just kind of having a conversation about what improvements might need to be made, things to think about and things like that, okay? What the drawings that you're really going to focus on just now is going to be, they're called your investigation drawings, okay? So what they are is you'll just really be focusing in on sort of key imagery, okay? And we'll go through that in a wee second. And then the rest of it, those blue squares and the pink square, that's what we're going to be focusing on. We're actually back in school. The reason we're not jumping the gun and kind of going straight into them is because it's really important just to focus on the key things you want to be involved in your folio, and also as well because there's going to be quite a lot going on in the development studies leading into the final piece. We just don't, but like, you work on that in class because that's when it gets a little bit more complicated. Okay, so reference image, like I've said, most of you have been starting to research and really think about your theme and creative decisions that you're going to be making. So things that you'll be thinking about or have thought about is looking at if you're going to do a still life unit, a portraiture unit, built environment, landscape, or having a sort of mixed approach and maybe coming up with more of a sort of fantasy and imaginative approach to this. Okay, but it is up to you. Okay, especially at National 5 level, you want to have a voice and an opinion, and you want to be clear in what it is that you want to take forward, okay? Because you are going to be focusing on it for a big part of the year. And we've just got information there about, this is each of the art teachers' Pinterest boards. So I know a lot of you have been really good at making up your board, saving off some ideas, inviting us to collaborate onto it. And it's just so that if we see that you're really interested in built environment, for example, and you've started saving some kinds of things, we'll have a big bank of imagery that we can start saving into your own board that you've not thought of, or things that might benefit you, okay? So make sure that when you're doing your research, you're making that board and you are inviting us onto it, okay? Compositional photographs, so make sure that once you've settled on a theme, you are communicating with your class teacher on Teams or through their email on how you're going to set up your photo shoots. So for example, I've been sent quite a lot of like portraiture studies from pupils that you might not want to upload in front of everybody else on the Teams chat, so that's totally fine. Just to send us a wee email and we'll get back to you just with some feedback on how you could improve your photograph, or could you include this thing or take it from this angle or this viewpoint. It's always good to bounce ideas off each other, and if we were in class just now, this is exactly the kind of thing we would be working on, okay? So we're just going to need to do what we can to sort of not make that a barrier, okay? So just keep the conversations coming, all the emails going, okay? Yeah, and your investigation drawings, you really want to just focus in on that specific thing, okay? and I'm just getting onto that now. So the first drawing out of the 3 drawings that you're going to do should be really familiar to you, is going to be a tonal pencil study. So at this point, you've got your photographs, you know what it is you're going to do, you've looked at a key artist that you're going to take inspiration from. So have a wee look at the ones that are on here. You'll notice that it's really, really zooming in on a specific element. So the can or the hand or the glass bottle or a portrait. You don't want to overcomplicate this at this stage, okay? You just want to really, really try and showcase your skills, build up your tonal range, show your highlights, rub them away, use a cotton bud, do the different things that you like doing in class. And you'll see here that even though these are all tonal pencil studies, they're all a little bit different. So your drawings, obviously, you're going to have your own sort of spin on it, okay? You use your own preferred technique for producing that, okay? So next drawing is going to be a biro pen drawing or fine line pen. You'll receive both of these in your packs and you might already have them at home. I know a couple of you have made a really strong start on the biro pen drawings. There's so many YouTube videos and things like that, Pinterest, TikToks videos, different ways of going about using pen. And I don't want to kind of go over too much, but I've just included, like, in these wee images, I've tried my hardest to include different sort of techniques, so you can see this really, really overlapped sort of messy technique, but then really focusing in on the darker tones to really show the different sort of parts of the face, different features in that one in the middle there at the top. But then as well, I love this one with the skull on that kind of postcards paper in the background. But they've obviously used a really different technique where it's maybe they're kind of almost not putting the very tip of the pen on the paper. You sort of use your pen at the side to sort of get that really light, smooth, sort of like almost furry kind of texture. And then just really, really building up the dark tones. But you can see in all of these as well, they've really, where they're trying to get the highlights, obviously you can't rub them away with the dark pen, so they've just left the colour of the paper to do the talking there for the highlights. Okay, so things that you're familiar with that you have done in class, no matter what teacher you've had, or if you're coming to do National 5 and you're in 6th year just now, or coming to do National 5 and you're in 4th year, these are really familiar to you, okay? And then your third drawing is going to be an oil pastel study, so this is where you're going to start introducing colour into your work, okay, but still keeping the composition relatively quite simple, focusing in on just one of the parts of your folio, okay. It might even be that, say you're doing portraiture or you're doing a building and the amount of photos you've got is quite limited. It could be the same photo but maybe it's from a different angle, a different viewpoint, or the scale's different. So think about how you can change it up. And also look again at these different images just for some ideas on how to maybe use your oil pastels. You've all been shown loads of times on how to use opposite colours, how to use different techniques with oil pastels, layering them quite thickly, scraping bits off, or I really like this one with the little lady and you can see the grey paper is acting as a mid-tone, and the way that they've applied it looks like they've applied it sort of on its sides with the wrapper off. You can see the grain of the paper coming through. But then I really like that one at the top middle as well, and it looks like before they have done that drawing with those bold colours, they're quite unblended colours actually, that they've maybe used a filter or they've edited their photo before going about their drawing. So all wee different decisions that you want to make, just have a chat with us, or if you might have an idea and you don't know exactly how to carry it out, we'll get back to you. We'll maybe do a wee demo and kind of show you it one-to-one sort of thing, okay? When you are doing your oil pastel study, you don't want to just fire in with oil pastels and then your proportions are kind of all over the place. So make sure that you are using your pencil. You would just do it the same way you would do in class. Draw it out super, super lightly, like you can barely see it. Mark in your key highlights, make sure your proportions are all fine. even send us that before you start on your colour. Just, as you're going, just keep kind of letting us know what it is you're up to, okay, and we can give you feedback that way quite easily, okay. And this is the last wee bit that I'm going to just go through quite quickly. I've written all this as well, so you might just want to read all this and this will be fine, but I'm just kind of doing a little bit of a voiceover just because I know sometimes when there's a lot of information, you might just want to pause it and kind of go through it that way. So how do I pick a theme? Well, you'll kind of know just now like what you think you're good at drawing or what you're interested in, or objects you might have about the house, or there might be something that, like a message that's really, really important to you, that you want to showcase. You want your artwork to be a kind of vehicle for conversation. You want to try and think about what it is that you're going to draw. Think about what you've got access to as well. So what have you got in front of you that you could start laying out? Could there be, and also that's why we've included the Pinterest boards, so that you might just start saving things, but then actually you really, really get quite intrigued by something, or you might start really enjoying an artist's work, and then we'll take it from there. How do I know if I am sitting at National 4 or National 5? The National 4 and National 5 course is very, very similar, like really similar. The main difference is that at National 5, the standard of work is higher. So you need to make sure that you're putting in the time and you're putting in the effort, and you are thinking about the decisions you're making, and you're trying to really improve your drawing skills, because ultimately that is what's getting marked. Okay, so working through these 3 first drawings is something that's really, really doable. Okay, and it is what we would be working on if we were in class as well, so it's not any more or any less than what you would be getting. And also as well, we might be taking on board pupils that we've maybe not taught before, so we don't know really, would that person be a Nat 5 or a Nat 4 pupil? So it's up to you to work hard and kind of show that you're meeting that standard. Okay, you might start off National 4, but actually as the year progresses, you might get more confident. You might just start really, really producing excellent work. And that's just what happens when you start, like, when you think about your own theme and it's quite personal to you. You start enjoying it more, you start wanting it to look good, so you spend more time on it. And there's always an opportunity to be moving up, okay, if you're putting in that time, that effort. What will I be doing when I'm back in school? So this is coming to the end of the video now, and when you're back in school, when we see you in August, we want to be just firing into those development studies and their sort of trials for your final piece. So at that point, you should kind of know what it is that you want your final piece to look like, okay, and that'll come with lots of discussion around it. And yeah, we'll be focusing on, there's a written element in every single subject, okay, as you know, so there will be some kind of written exam for National 5, so preparing you for that, doing question papers, introducing your artists. We've started to introduce the artists on Teams. If you're not already on, make sure you check that out, because there's a few tasks on there just now. So yeah, just doing that, trying to learn how to actually take the information you know about artists and designers and formulate some answers, kind of thing, to try and get marks. And what we've not really discussed so far yet on Teams or in this video is the design aspect of the course as well, that is also usually worth 100 marks. But what we're doing is, it's just more straightforward to kind of focus on this part just now, and when we're back in school and we've got a wee bit more information on how we're going to go about design, we'll just get stuck into that as well. Okay, so lots going on, lots to think about, but hopefully this is really clear on what you should be focusing on just now for this subject if you're choosing it. And like I've said lots of times in this video, our emails are there. There's a Teams group for you to come on and to chat and to send pictures of your work. So yeah, okay, and you'll get lots and lots of feedback so that you know that you're on track or what you can do to get on track. Okay, so stay safe everybody, and hopefully see you all very, very soon. Okay, bye.